Good day, everyone. And today I will be reviewing season 2 of Stranger Things. Now, I really loved season 1. As you'll keep on hearing from everyone, it is like a Stephen King movie directed by Steven Spielberg. It is the 80s. But I also love the character of Eleven and all of the D&D kids, of course. And just the general atmosphere of those first 8 episodes. Now, these 9 episodes are awesome because they build on that and they expand the world, which is so cool. Of course, as you notice, I am 80s out with my members only jacket, my game over for Dragon Lair, and of course I've got my Egos, and just to shout out to that interesting episode with Barb's parents. Got my KFC. Of course, back then they didn't have popcorn chicken, but hey, which is one of the things that I have a bit of a nitpick with. Back then, they would not have said KFC. They would have said Kentucky Fried Chicken. Because that's just the way you said things back then. You didn't abbreviate them like they do now. Well, in the way that they do now. Or maybe they would have been like Kentucky Fried or something, you know. Forget saying chicken. But anyway, apart from that, loved it. My favorite episode actually was episode 7, which is The Lost Sister. And I really liked meeting 8 and her posse, her crew. And okay, on a side note, which is horrible, I honestly thought that she was the actress who played Sati in Matrix Revolutions. Obviously, I checked it out and I was wrong, but I just found her performance really, really gripping, actually, and it brought more to 11, aka Jane Hopper. Spoiler, by the way. If you didn't realize that there would be spoilers in this, sorry. I'll mention it below in the description. Not in the title though, but definitely in the description. I'll mention spoilers. But yeah, that episode was so cool. Of course, because I'm a Care Bear fan, so it was interesting seeing Funshine Bear used the way he was used. Yeah. By the way, Freeport, Grand Bahama, the best KFC in the world. Just putting that out there. But now, going back to the different elements of the 80s that I saw throughout this second season. I got my trusty list. And what I'm going to go with are just stuff from the 80s. Because I could go on and on with other shots that felt to me to be from movies that I liked. For instance, the shot when Billy was pummeling Steve right before Max had to inject him. I mean, that was like straight out of Fight Club for me, anyway. But yeah, let's see. All the different things that I noticed while I was watching. Speaking of Max, the way she called Lucas stalker, I know it is supposed to be, stalker as in he's always watching her, but for me, I felt that that was a shout out to the G.I. Joe character, Stalker, being that he was, I think, in the first line of the smaller G.I. Joe action figures, and he was black. So, yeah, just saying that. And still on the subject of Max and Billy, I seriously thought that what we were going to find out was that Billy didn't want Max hanging out with Lucas because of the way he looked. And that brought to mind a very special episode of Different Strokes where Willis was supposed to go out with a girl, and then her brother told her that they couldn't go to the dance together because she would, well, their parents would flip out, so she had to have a fever of 103 or something. Yeah, that always stayed with the heart and the mind. Of course, Mad Max. Other stuff, E.T., which we saw from the first time, Aliens, which we also saw, Paul Reiser, so of course. Now, Three Musketeers. I don't care what anyone says. This, not cool. I do not like them. I love Three Musketeers as characters. Porthos, Athos, Aramis. And technically there are four of them with D'Artagnan. And I love the books, love the animated series, all of the movies, even the ones that weren't quite as well received, and cartoons, everything. But I really don't like this. I don't know. I have to agree with everyone else. There's just not enough chocolate and too much of the other stuff. But anyway, other stuff. Temple of Doom. Mainly for me, I noticed Temple of Doom in the whole Nancy and Jonathan back and forth. Well done. Of course, Ghostbusters, Teen Wolf, mainly because of the basketball, even though that could also be Hoosiers, so, Krull, in the style of everything, of course, Jaws, Terminator, just with Callie's group of misfits, kind of one of the guys kind of reminded me of Bill Paxton in that classic scene of the dance, Footloose. I saw He-Man figure, which I must point out, Lucas's sister. You guys really hit the nail on the head with that one. Respect. Someone who had a sister that, well, actually, my sister was not as bad. It was more her friends that were more annoying than she was at that age. But of course, Firestarter, and also Scanners, which no one has mentioned, but I definitely got a Scanners vibe. The Shining. Loved the Punky Brewster shout out. That was cool. Also got a Salem's Lot feel to certain parts, and The Thing. course, Gremlins, especially with Dart. I got a Spike feel for some reason. Of course, first it started off as a Gizmo feel, and then it became a Spike feel. I am quite sure there are more, because I always love my D&D references. But the gate was also something that I got the feeling for, mainly because of the older, like, babysitter type person having to help out the kids and everything. Well, at least those are the new ones that I noticed this time around. And thanks for the dig, Doug. Yeah, thank you. I mean, it's not my favorite Atari game, but thanks. Even naming an episode. Well done. Well done, people. Well, this video has been way longer than I expected, because I always have an issue with time. So, just want to say, be safe, everyone, and as usual, later, people.